Hey guys, Super Nicktendo here, and I have over 800 video games in my collection, and one of the reasons why I started YouTube in the first place was so that I would have an excuse to play these games. And when I first started out, I had a series called Viewer Voted Reviews, and basically I would review one game, and then at the end of the video give you 4 choices. And it went well for a while, but I didn't really have a good way to get my subscribers to vote because I would have to send them to Twitter, and not everybody had Twitter, but now I have a community section on YouTube that allows me to do polls. So I've decided to reboot the series and we'll pick up where we left off. Now, the previous viewer voted review was Punch-Out, and at the end of that episode I gave you 4 choices, and with 57% of the vote, you guys chose Actraiser for the Super Nintendo. So let's review Actraiser, see how it's going. I'll let you know if the price will go up, down, or stay the same, and I'll have 4 choices at the end of this video for you to vote. So you'll definitely want to stick around. So without further ado, here's Actraiser for the Super Nintendo. Released in 1991 in the US under the publisher Enix, Actraiser has you playing a god who has lost all his powers and must fight off monsters that have been brought to this world by Tanzra. This game has been modified from its Japanese counterpart because of the religious overtones in this game. In the Japan version, you had to play as God and fight Satan, and the US version is changed to the Master versus Tanzra. And I'm actually cool with the change because I'm more of a fan of Greek mythology, and this fits a little bit better than the whole God versus Satan thing. This game starts out with you choosing your name, and then you're thrown into a complicated UI with no real direction. You choose fight monsters and are sent to Earth to the first stage of the game. And these acts are timed and you can accumulate points along the way, and you're given 3 lives to complete the act. At the end of each act is a boss. Once that's defeated, you go into the other version of the game, which is world building. And this is where the game slows down. You're tasked with directing the people to rebuild their town and seal off the monsters in the area. This time you take control of an angel and shoots arrows to kill monsters that attempt to kill citizens. And you can also create natural phenomenons like lightning and earthquakes to help the citizens build their city. And every so often you're requested an audience by your people, and typically they'll offer you new technology that they've acquired like bridges and better arrows. And when all the monsters' lairs have been sealed off, the source of the Act 2 monster will be revealed, and that's when you go back to the palace and then select Fight Monsters. And once Act 2 is completed, you carry on to the next area and repeat the process all over again. This game has superb graphics that still hold up to this day, but that's only in the acts. The sim portion of the game is a little bit lackluster and really kind of boring since the plot of the game is linear. It's not like you have a choice on what you get to build either. You can only direct the people, and there's some barriers that prevent you from going on where you choose, and that's really the only deviation from playing it again. One of the worst parts of this game is the menu. It took me forever to find the save function, and in fact I didn't think that there was any. But I can't really hold too much of a grudge because it's a really cool game, and I highly recommend that you pick it up if you're a fan of the Super Nintendo. The price has dropped in the past couple of months and now it's around $20, but I would suggest picking it up because it looks like it's going to spike again for Christmas. And this is the only way to play Actraiser at the moment. It was available on the Wii's Virtual Console, but you can no longer buy anything from the service and it will shut down completely next year. So until the Switch Online service offers SNES games, the Super Nintendo version is really the only way to play Actraiser. So that's Actraiser for the Super Nintendo. I really enjoyed that game. It's one of my top 10 Super Nintendo games, in fact. It's a little slow, but it's kind of therapeutic in the same way with the world building and then the action. So it's definitely a good game that I recommend to pick up. Alright, now it's time for the 4 choices on which game I will review next. Your choices this time are Intelligent Cube for the PlayStation 1, ToeJam and Earl for the Sega Genesis, Robotech Battle Cry for the Nintendo GameCube, and last but not least, Tailspin for the NES. So there are your 4 choices. I will have a poll up on my community tab by the end of the day of this video, and you'll have 1 week to vote. And after a week, I will choose the winner, and then I will show you that on the next user voted review. So be sure to vote. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, consider subscribing for future gaming content. I'm Super Nicktendo, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.